We need God's strength to do this video. Welcome. This is the Beyond Church Walls podcast.
Yep.
My name is Miss Kerry, baby. You can call me fiance.
Ooh.
And with me is
Mariah.
and our guest who we introduced in soon, who you're going to meet next week,
Yeah.
is
My name is Elly.
Woo! Reverend Elly Ochieng. All the way
From CITAM, Clay City.
Clay City siku hizi
Hata Thika Road.
Lazima tuchoche.
Ana trend huko TikTok.
Let me tell you, praise be to God.
Yeah.
Amen.
Reure. Hey, we have to have this conversation.
It's
I think
a sad note to start.
it's a sad note to start, but we cannot have this Friday without discussing this particular topic. And it's a topic of Jesus and justice.
Yep.
We also have it in the line of the song I was trying to sing, or rather our national anthem, that justice be our shield and defender. Maria, what have you been picking from the socials?
And it's so sad. Day in, day out, it's extremely sad to just encounter what is happening. Number one, there is a lot of political campaigns that are not even supposed to be. I think the court the other day just said, "Izi achane kwanza, no campaigns right now." There is no room for that. Because we are just throwing in words, politicians throwing in words to each other. But in the recent past, we've lost one of us. One of us who gets to do what you get to do, content creation, he gets to speak via the social media. And it is so sad, so sad. My deepest condolences to the family of the late Albert. And one of the things that with that story we'll give each other, of course, what went down. But the sad part of that story is a parent was crying. One, why the parent was crying is because the son left the house or the home. Kwa sababu aliambiwa 1-2 na mzee akajua ako ndani, wacha nichukue ile title deed nyumbani, niende mpaka jiji kuu la Nairobi nikatoe mtoto wangu. And it was so unfortunate that when he got here, everything was said, a lot of things was said. But my saddest part of it is the claims were that Albert, actually, it was self-harm. He killed himself. You even ask, alikuwa kwa cell peke yake. Nani aliona akijigonga? Yeah. I saw that parent crying, and I was just wondering, what Kenya are we in?
Me, I'm so curious. Pasi, ushaingia cell?
Nishaishikwa siku moja. Okay, ile traffic offense.
Okay, yeah. So ukaingia kwa cell.
Niliingizwa tu for 5 minutes kabla.
Ile penye everyone is. Ama yako.
Ilikuwa huko Muhoroni, ilikuwa huko overspeeding.
You know why I'm asking this question?
Yeah.
Is because I want to understand what does that look like, and even the logic behind the conversations being had. But also, how do you feel about the state of the nation right now?
Well, it's very, let me say, first of all, it's very, very sad. Me being a parent, I can't imagine something like that happening to my child. I mean, one evening you're seated, you're having dinner, then some cops just show up in your house. I mean, they pick your child, pick your son. He has done something on social media. Kidogo, the guy is in the cell. Kidogo is saying the guy has died at self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
And then you're wondering what's happening? What's happening with the cops? I mean, should we be living in fear?
Yeah.
Exactly.
In fact, people say these days, afadhali ukutane na kauzi kuliko karao.
Wow.
It's sad. It's very sad.
And it's a reality.
It's a reality. It's a reality. And Kenyans are slowly becoming very, very hostile to our cops. Like right now, you see what's happening on X. Or on social media, you see a plainclothes cop is just being handled by guys, and you're wondering what's going on. Because Kenyans are getting very, very tired, very, very agitated,
it's exhausting.
And something needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because the state of the nation now, the way it is very sad. Because it looks like if you have a dissenting opinion or a dissenting voice, then for sure it's like you're in trouble. But if we signed up for democracy, then let's be democratic.
That's what we signed up for. Let me ask, in the past, because you're slightly older than some of us.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because you're friends with my dad. You don't even discover. I'm like, Uncle, I'm about to be Uncle Elly. So, was this a thing before? Is it something new that's happening now? I'm very curious. And if it's not, where are the voices? What happened? Why are we the ones to carry the whole flag for Moi's era? And
It's not new, actually, because I was there during Moi's time. Okay, though I was younger.
you are a youth.
I was a youth. I saw how guys would be hounded. I saw how guys would be followed. You know, by the way, as guys, the narrative then was we feared Moi like something else.
Wow.
Because, you know, the stories that were being told that the guy used to wear bulletproof vest, that he used to pakanaka oil on his face. Even if you shoot him with a gun, your bullet
It na slide.
It na slide the end.
Yeah.
Those are
I never heard that.
the stories that guys used to hear.
Yeah.
So guys used to live in fear. Even the stories you hear that even if you're abroad, you cannot speak about it. Because when you land here, you don't know who you're talking to.
Wow.
So it looks like we are slowly sliding back into that kind of era. And it is not good for our country because we have come this far. Imagine after we promulgated the 2010 Constitution, these freedoms were put there so that Kenyans can live freely. I mean, people can have the freedom of expression. If we promulgated in the Constitution, let people speak.
Yeah, word promulgated that today to me in a while, but yes, we did promulgate the Constitution, the 2010 Constitution.
For sure.
So now, what can we do? Because this is one of the things we're trying to use this platform.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage you, if you're watching us, number one, like this video, share this video, let this conversation continue within the church and its walls and everywhere, so that, because the people who we're talking about are Kenyans. This is a Kenyan situation. So it becomes patriotism, and I think Jesus was quite patriotic, if I think about it. But we'll go deeper into that. What I don't know, because he said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give to God what is God's. He still respected the authority. And also we are told to pray for people in authority. Even if right now we just want to gonga people in authority. But as we talk about this, Mariah, I want to hear your thoughts. Because wewe uko kwa ground pia. Tunadu nini by the 25th?
We are voicing.
Okay.
One of the things that I love about the space we are in as at now, other than the times of Pasi, is we are able to go out to the streets.
You've become a reference point.
Which times are those?
We are able to go to the streets and just say, we are tired.
Yeah.
However much our voices are being shut, we are voicing them. The other day when Boniface was abducted, by the way.
What was that? We must highlight that.
Yeah.
Pasi, have you watched that video?
Yeah.
I have, man. I have.
You watched it?
I watched it. It's
Yani, aki hakuna kitu impressing about our country and these things. Man, it's so sad. But I think right now that we have been given the opportunity, or rather we have given ourselves the opportunity to speak, I think it's not time for us to shut up. We can speak, use social media because it's very powerful. In as much as they're shutting us, I think we will overpower them.
Yeah.
We will overpower them. Gone are the days where someone will tell you not to speak. And whatever you're speaking facts. Kuna, when we are saying all these things about even the politicians going around and, they're throwing in words for each other. Like, it's not the time to do that. It's time to think about yourself as a person. Like Pasi's daughters, for example, right now, if today you wake up and Ahadi is not there, or Furaha is not there, you'll go crazy. So imagining...
I don't even want to think about it.
Does it need to hit home for you to actually recognize that this thing has gotten out of hand?
Yeah.
Secondly, why are we abducting the people that are voicing what is true? You see, they could have opened a case for him.
Exactly.
Aseme alifanya 1, 2,
Exactly.
3, makosa yako ni 1, 2, 3, jitete bail ama ukaendani miaka kadhaa, and that will be okay.
But taking a life. But see, I'm curious about this. There's a politician watching, because politicians watch this show. I know a couple of MPs watch this show. And they're always curious. Leo meamua kutuingilia. Please guide them on what their response as a church leader. Just give them advice on what their response could be. Because maybe they just don't know and they need the guidance. Na mimi siwezi waambia anything.
Wewe si church leader.
Mimi CSP.
Acha mafuta hiyo.
You know, the work of MPs, I think is clearly stated, and they keep saying it, that our work is legislation, is representation. If you represent the people and you legislate, you come up with laws, then they should do something about it. Let them represent the people.
Yeah.
For example, I saw some MPs from Homa Bay County. At least they spoke and say this is not acceptable.
Yes.
That is what they should do. They should demand, not just calling those guys in parliament for PR. They should demand that someone must be sacked.
Yes.
Some guy who is up there should actually face the music.
Yeah.
I mean, we are dealing with small fish here, but we know that this order came from somewhere else. Yeah, they should demand that person actually be held to account and should be held liable. So, if you're a member of parliament and you're watching, please don't just sit in the fence because you support this government. That's not it. You represent the people. Do something about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
About to call the people shall and the people will. That's where we are at right now. I love what you said. That representation. Imagine. What does having a representative mean? It means that when you need something, this person can go for you. This person can speak for you. And they also have the access. What is the point of having all that access if it only benefits you and your 3 children?
Exactly.
What is the point of it? Maria, there's something you were saying.
I was just asking, when God looks at us, wherever he's seated, and you as a person, you get to do all these abductions and stuff like that. Me, I want to be called pleasant servant.
Welcome, done, good and faithful.
Well done,
servant.
yes.
Welcome.
Good and
It's your
faithful.
eternal rest.
Yeah,
Come
I mean, do you even tap yourself at the back and say, I did what the people chaguaed me to do? Do you even take account of your life? Do you even take account of things that you get to do as a person, as a leader?
Maria, you've said something, and I want to ask Pasi a question, because sometimes I feel like the conscience dies. Is it possible?
They get the immune.
That the Lord can leave us to our own evil at some point, because it's stressful for me, because I think there's still a conscience. Kuna conscience mtu imekufa mali.
Hey, see, the Bible says that your conscience can be seared as with a hot iron.
Come on.
It is possible. Let me tell you. You know, even the Bible in the book of Jeremiah 17:9 says the heart of man is exceedingly wicked. Until even God has to search it. It is so weak. Our hearts are so weak. We are wicked people. I'm telling you, the amount of I mean, I've been reading the book of Chronicles and the book of Kings. Some of these kings were so wicked. Someone will take their child and throw them and burn them in the fire for the sake of another God who is not a real God. Yeah. They did these things.
The Bible ni movie. Hatujafika hapo. Mimi niko Genesis. Uko Chronicles.
So what I'm saying is human beings are very wicked. I'm telling you, we are just the way we are by the grace of God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even us, let me tell you, you and I, we have capacity to be that bad. We have. Some of us don't do those things because we don't have the opportunity.
Like
But
if we were in the same position, Maria, and I think you are going into that, into your conscience and how you think and why. Are you saying if we were in the same position, it would be a hard decision to choose someone's life over covering up whatever crime allegedly, let me use the right legal terms, lest nione Subaru imekuja nikiabduct kwa Subaru naweza kaa mbele tu nione speed unafinya mse naweza jidrive ni enjoy. Anyway, I'm making a joke out of it, but it's a very serious thing. Maria, sorry, I interrupted you, but I just wanted Pasi to speak about the consciousness, because there's some utu, inaitwa utu.
Inakuwa imepotea, imekufa. It's die. And you know, even when you are growing up, venye tulikuwa tunasema utajua mimi ni nani. Hatuwa nijui. You know those things.
Yeah.
And it's because some of us labda umezaliwa ghetto, we ni mkali, ama labda place tulizaliwa kuna ka superiority kenye uko na, kama kuna ka level uko na, unajua we ni mkali. Msekaa Pasi na mimi atukipigana saizi atashinda, because maybe atanifia.
Hakuna, wewe unajua taekwondo, acha kujifanya. Hawezi kushinda. Utamgonga kiswip hivi.
So kuna hiyo.
Hatuwezi fight. I don't fight against flesh and blood.
Come on, we wrestle against principalities and powers in the heavenly realms.
Okay. But when I'm looking back, when I'm just thinking what you're saying, I'm looking back at what made Albert ashikwe. the bottom line. So once you start tracing that, is because he tweeted about this and this and this and this and this. And of course, everything is wired towards this particular person who, of course, he talked about, called them out in one or another. And allegations in your direction. But still, I think when some of us are in power, we tend to misuse the power the Lord has bestowed upon us. And as I said, as Pasi was saying, you've lacked the role that you ought to play as a leader or as a person. Your role is to represent us, and which we tumeipoteza kabisa.
But then you may be surprised. Some of those guys don't believe that it is the Lord who put them in power.
Oh,
Ni nguvu za-
Ni nguvu tu zao. Ama ni kujuana.
My God.
Those kinds of things.
that is so good.
Yeah. So and they say, if you want to get to know someone, give them what? Money
And power.
and power.
Position.
It reveals who they truly are.
Oh. Me give me money. I'm still a nice person. And just try me. Test me with 10 million. Pasi, how do we land this one? What do you advise young people? And I'm not saying this is not a place for agitation or pushing an agenda, but being quiet is not an option at this rate, because this is a place where we're supposed to raise our children.
Yeah.
And since no one else is stepping up and stepping out, as we would hope for, the Kenyan people and the people shall.
Yeah.
Because what do we do sitting at home thinking that someone can be taken? Unajua how many police stations mtu amepita by the time anafikishwa Central? Like that, cause of that one for me, I couldn't. Homa Bay, umepita petrol
umetolewa kwa nyumba kwenu.
Homa Bay ni mbali.
Even home
Umepita
it's not
how
safe.
many police stations?
Yeah.
What was that specificity of Central? Like, make me understand. Like, I don't know, because I'm not in the legal field or something. But what is the logic behind all that?
Because ukifanya mistake huku Valley Road unapelekwa hapa. Kama
Kilimani?
ni Thika Road unapelekwa hapo Kasa. Kama ni hivyo, wezi kuwa ati hata mwizi ukiiba hapa unapelekwa police station ya hapo.
Yeah. Then also and we're not talking from our own stories. The autopsy report is out.
Yeah.
That clearly these were not
So
self-inflicted wounds.
yeah.
Partially, even some of the wounds that he has were in self-defense. There's an audio of him talking to someone. I don't know how legitimate
Yes,
that is,
yes.
but there's an audio also aired for like, hey, Buddha, mazemi sijaingia, mazemi sijaishikwa. This is a first-time offender. Mimi nimekuwa first-time offender by the pia. I was not asking you from a place of judgment. I was asking from a place of experience. And I remember the head of the police station, hapa tu Kilimani akasema, but then you being a first-time offender, na nini, let's release you with a warning.
Ulikuwa medu?
Insurance ilikuwa imeisha by one day.
Traffic. It's a traffic
Yes,
offense.
a traffic offense. Yes. But you understand what I'm saying? There's some things that you're like, who is this person? How much influence does he really have? Because I think also that's another thing that threatens people, the amount of influence.
Yeah.
But Pasi, ebu tuambie sisi kama youth, young people, sisi hatujafika 35 bado, we're on route. Tuongeleshe please, tuambie tudu nini?
By the way, this is our country.
Yeah.
We have nowhere else to go. Ugundo Kenya. But then let me tell you, if Kenyans had a choice of living, many will live.
Yeah.
But since we are not living,
Tuko tu hapa.
I believe we can agitate.
Yes.
We can speak about the ills of our society. We can speak to our leaders. But for me, as a
church
church
leader,
I will encourage us to, there's a way you can make your point without being overly offensive. Because I have seen that many of our young people, I know it hurts, but there's a way you can address a matter
That's true.
that is not complete. Now it is borderline abuse. Now, not even borderline. I mean, people are now insulting one another. People calling one another names. People are speaking all manner of things. But you can raise your issues, raise your voice, share on social media, call out injustice, because that is our mandate even as children, because even God is a God of justice.
He is.
He's a God of justice. So we can raise these issues, we can bring them up, but is there a way we can bring them up without being superly abusive or hurling insults or sharing all types of videos? I mean, is it possible for us to agitate without being those guys?
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Mariah, what are your thoughts as we wind down?
I just want to say that the peace of God that surpasses all human understanding to be with the families that have lost their loved ones. We are praying for you. And we pray that even as a church, as a leaders, as everyone who has a role to play, may they play that role. And I pray that our Kenya will be better. We'll get to a space where we say, we used to, or it happened, and now we focus on going ahead and being better than we are right now. Because as Pasia said, hatuna place and tunaenda na juu tuko hapa, wacha tu to make your space, my space, the best for everyone.
Yeah. As we went down, Pasia said something that I really want to piggyback on. And thank you, Maria, for those thoughts. Social media never forgets. So wewe mtu wa kutukanana na all those things, it will haunt you one day. You'll grow up out of the insulting part and try to do things in a more mature way. And that video, that audio, or that thing that you posted will haunt you. Kama watu wenye walinita umbwa, bado niko na screenshots zenu. Na siku moja nitawapost. Na siku moja tutapatana. Nilitanga umbwa hapa, imagine. So this is what I want to say. 25th, me personally nabeba nibebe simu ama nisibebe simu.
Lazima uturekodie.
So either simu, tunabeba pia nini? Maji, lazima. Tunabeba pia Colgate.
Tarehe 25.
Hiyo tear gas. Hiyo alkalinity inasaidiaga. Yeah. Tunatokea peacefully.
Yes.
To agitate, me personally, nataka kuagitate for, number one, a safer Kenya. A place where justice can actually prevail. Kama mtu ako na makosa, let them go to court. Let them face their music because there's a consequence.
Yeah.
But we're not quiet and we're not silent. Na pia historia, the church. Can't look at the church. The church ni wale watoto walikuwa hapo. Tukiwa hapo June 25th, before the murder and the killings that happened, half the people who were there ni watoto kwa nao church. So usiseme ati the church is not represented just because bishop sasa aanze kukimbizana na tear gas. Even though wanataka ndio waseme the bishop was there. Ndio wafurahie.
But even as we finish, but the church, and I was going to say the same thing.
Yes.
All I was saying, Ubonga online, I went to church. Where is in church?
Exactly.
I think sometimes people, when they talk about the church, they mean the clergy. And the clergy, by the way, they make statements, they say stuff, but only it's activists who get the airtime.
Yeah.
So...
because they use abusive, like, in media, when a dog bites a man, it's not news. But when a man bites a dog. So it has to be such extreme.
Yeah, exactly.
But guess what? When we lose our fear, they lose their power. Viva! I want to tumalize a video. Comment, like, share. What are your thoughts? Tokea. Hivyo tu.